What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today we are going to be doing another battle of the releases where we compare the UV button up against the Stan Onnex. Now, first off, I just want to apologize. I am losing my voice, so bear with me. But just like some of the other release videos we've done in the past, we will be comparing the specs, the feel, the weight of these releases, and hope that this just better educates you guys before you decide to make a purchasing decision on which one of these releases is going to be best for you. Now, the first thing that I want to say is both of these releases are available at Sunrise Archery. So if you live in the local southeastern Michigan area, you can go to Sunrise, you can pick up the UV button, you can pick up the Stan Onnex. They offer the aluminum, the heavy metal, and then with the UV button, they offer the stainless steel and also the aluminum. So you can get a feel for which one of these releases you like best. You can shoot them, test them out before you purchase them. Like I said, if you live in the area, support your local bow shop, go up to Sunrise, check both of these releases out. Now, the first one that we're going to talk about is the Ultraview UV button. And Ultraview did a fantastic job on this release. I love the weight of the stainless steel option. I love how this thing just naturally fits in your hand. Now, Ultraview does offer this in a medium and in a large, but the large has yet to be released. I don't know what the holdup is on that, but you can expect that to probably come out this year in 2023. Now, Ultraview is heavily marketing this release to hunters. They have gone through an extensive design to basically make this release arguably the quietest thumb button that is available on the market. They have developed their Ultra Glide bushing technology, which heavily reduces the metal on metal contact that makes this release extremely quiet. And another benefit of those bushings is it also heavily reduces the maintenance that is required to keep this release in spec once you get it set to your desired preference. I have also been really amazed at just how crisp this release is. Now, another huge benefit of the UV button is if you are someone who likes to shoot the hinge through Ultraview, the Hinge 1 or the Hinge 2.0, you'll be happy to know that the hook location is in the exact same spot as the Hinge 2.0. So you'll be able to transition between both of those releases if you decide to shoot a hinge in the summer and then you want to go to a UV button in the hunting season to have more control over your shot in high pressure hunting situations. Then this is definitely going to be a release that you guys want to check out. And the feel of these releases is basically identical aside from the thumb button. Now, this release also comes with a D-loop retainment hook. Ultraview did a great job, just like the Hinge 2.0. The clasp or the hook does have a magnetic lock to it. And in my original review video, I had mentioned that if you had cocked this and went to go close it around your D-loop, that it wouldn't close. But that was actually incorrect. If you just basically push on that, it'll lock it around your D-loop. So it does make it a little bit easier to get this on your D-loop. I did struggle in the beginning just due to the location of the hook and how it was getting on the D-loop. But like I said, it does have D-loop retainment. It is magnetic. It does automatically return to the closed position after every single shot. So if you actually need to make a follow-up shot, you don't have to worry about that hook being flopped open like it was doing on the original Hinge with that constant rattling that they addressed on the Hinge 2.0. Now, another super awesome feature, and it's a small one, but it does make a huge impact, at least in my opinion, is their new contoured knob that they added to this. This knob is fantastic. I've actually even taken this knob off and I've put it on my Carter Wise Choice. I like the fact that this knob is a little bit oversized when compared to some of the other releases that are available on the market. And then this contoured groove that they've added to this knob makes it bite to your thumb extremely well, making it very easy to get extremely repeatable on how you're executing your shot with the UV button. Now, the UV button does also come with a lanyard loop. There has been talks about adding a 2-finger, 3-finger, and 4-finger option, just like they did on the Hinge 2.0. But again, that will be released most likely at a later date, hopefully here in 2023. Now, when you purchase a UV button straight out of the box, what you see here is basically what you're gonna get. So if you are someone who likes a smaller knob on your thumb button, unfortunately, you're not gonna have that ability to change that straight out of the box. Ultraview does offer other knobs that you can purchase that have some different types of designs. So you can play around with those, but like I said, it is at an additional cost. Whereas if I compare that over to the Stan Onnex, the Stan Onnex actually comes with a lot of accessories that allow you to customize this release to your preference. They have a small knob, large knob, they have a short post, a long post, and then they also give you the ability to adjust and articulate how you want that knob position, where again on the UV button, you cannot change the position of that knob other than rotating it to kind of get it into your desired spot. Now with the Stan Onnex, the Stan Onnex does not come with a lanyard loophole. Now the one thing that I had showed in my original review video of this release is depending on how you position this third finger, you can slide this all the way forward, which was my preferred location for the third finger. And if you do that, it does expose a hole here where you could attach a lanyard loop. But like I said, straight out of the box, it does not come with it. Now, you will also have the ability to change this from a 2-finger, 3-finger, or 4-finger straight out of the box, where again, with the UV button, if you want to change it from a 3 to a 2 or a 4, right now you don't even have the ability to do it. But once it is available, it will be offered as an accessory, so it is going to cost you a little bit of money to start to play around with that finger configuration. Now, another feature of the Stan Onnex is this release is offered in a large variety of sizes. So they have a small, medium, large, and extra large that you can choose from, and they also offer an aluminum body, and then also their heavy metal, which is their brass option, which was the release that I had purchased. That is by far the heaviest handheld release that I've ever shot. We'll talk about the weight of these two releases a little bit later in the video. This release is their aluminum, and it's actually a demo version that I picked up from Sunrise Archery because I had actually sold my Onnex release. Now this release also has a D-loop retainment ring, and I will say when comparing the UV button to the Onnex, I definitely prefer how you attach this release over the UV button. Now as far as the Onnex goes, this is also a very quiet release. I'll compare these two for you. Whereas the Onnex UV button, so like I said, it is an extremely quiet release. This release is also extremely crisp, so you can really get this thing fine-tuned to your desired shooting style. Now, the one thing that I will say about the Onnex, which I was a little surprised by, is if you are someone who likes to shoot a 2-finger release, if you were to remove this 3-finger or 4-finger configuration, you're basically left with a hole on the backside of this release. They do not offer you like an enclosure or something to cap that end of the release. I was kind of surprised by that. For me personally, I would not want to have that opening on that release just from an aesthetic standpoint. It doesn't affect the overall functionality of the release. It's just not something that I would have expected from Stan when they came out with the Onnex. Now, another feature of this release is they do offer a locking pin, which essentially allows you to dry fire this release without actually activating it. So if you are someone who likes to draw your bow back without an arrow in it, you can add that pin in here, and then you can safely do that, and you can also work on executing your shot. But that is one feature of the Stan Onnex that is unique when compared to the UV button. Now, as far as adjustability goes on both of these releases do give you the ability to adjust the trigger tension, which is how hot or how cold, and then you can also adjust the trigger travel. Now, the UV button has probably the most amount of adjustability that I've ever seen on any type of handheld release. I mean, you could set this thing up to be extremely heavy and to require a lot of travel before you actually actually activate your shot. And the same thing goes with the Stan Onnex. There is a decent amount of travel. So again, if that's your shooting style, you can get settled in on that button and you don't have to worry about accidentally discharging the release before you're ready to make the shot. Now, the one thing that UV Button did that is pretty unique, and they did this on their Hinge 2.0 as well, is they actually laser engrave the release. So you always know which direction you need to turn the release to make it hotter or colder, or to increase the travel or decrease it. Whereas Stan, they did not. So if you have trouble remembering what screw you need to adjust, you're most likely going to have to reference back to this video, hopefully, or your owner's manual. But bouncing back to that zero travel, UV did a fantastic job at truly making this a zero travel release. And like I said, they did a fantastic job at this. As far as adjustability goes on the thumb pegs, as we already talked about, the Onnex comes with a large variety of accessories that allow you to customize this. So you can adjust between a short thumb post, a long thumb post. You have the small peg, the big peg, whereas the UV Button, you don't have any of that. But it does give you the ability to articulate this thumb button on this release quite a bit. So you do have the ability to kind of customize this release. You can play around with the different thumb pegs that Ultraview does offer on their website, but like I said, straight out of the box, the thumb peg that you have is the thumb peg that you're gonna get. You can rotate it, but that's it as far as like the customizations on getting this thing set up. So you do have more options with the Stan Onnex straight out of the box. Now, when talking about weight and feel of both of these releases, I personally think both of these releases feel great in the hand. The only issue that I had with the UV Button, and it was the same with the Hinge 2.0, is just how long this neck is. This neck on this release is extremely long when compared to a Carter Wise choice, and even when compared to the Stan Onnex. And for me personally, it does throw off my anchor point quite a bit. Now, I do have two bows. I set up my VXR. I basically had to decrease my draw length from 27 inches to 26.5 to be able to shoot the UV Button. So I'm not a huge fan of actually losing draw length, being that I already have a shorter draw. I tried to adjust the D-loop for those that want to make that comment, but for me, adjusting the D-loop did not get this in the desired position that I prefer as an archer. So that was the one thing that I will say that I really don't like about the UV Button. I would love if they offered this in a short neck version. That is something that I brought up to Ultraview. I would love to see their Hinge 2.0 and then also the UV Button, like I said, offered in a short neck version. Whereas the Stan Onnex, this release is also a little bit longer in the neck when compared to the Carter Wise choice. It's not as drastic as the UV Button, but again, it did throw off my anchor point a little bit. And it's not so much the neck, whereas it is more about the hook location on this release, again, when comparing that to the Carter Wise choice. Now, the one thing that I did want to mention about the Stan Onnex, and this kind of fits within the category of weight and feel, is on that third finger, they did offer this whale tail. For me personally, I did not care for that. I prefer not having that whale tail. It basically essentially turns this into like a four-finger style release. I prefer to leave my finger dangle. That's just how I shoot. When I had my Stan Onnex, I actually thought about just grinding this whale tail off and making it very similar to the UV Button or the Carter Wise choice. Like I said, neither of them have that option. Now, when talking about the weight of these releases, the UV Button is a pretty heavy release if you buy their stainless steel option. This is coming in at 160 grams, where if I compare that to the Onnex that I had purchased, which was the heavy metal option, that release was coming in at 218 grams. Like I said, that was by far the heaviest release that I have ever shot. Now, the brass body Onnex was a little on the heavy side. It was pushing the limits on whether or not that was actually comfortable. But like I said, I did really enjoy that brass body release. I'm not going to take a weight on this aluminum Onnex, just due to the fact that, like I said, this is a demo model. I'm not sure if the weight is a true representative of the actual aluminum body release that you could actually go and purchase. So like I said, just keep that in mind. Their aluminum version is a little bit heavier than some of the standard handheld releases that are available on the market. But like I said, go to Sunrise Archery if you live in the local area, pick up the aluminum, pick up the brass body, see which one you like best, and then same thing with the UV button. Pick up the stainless steel, pick up the aluminum, and see which one you guys prefer. But overall, I think both of these releases are absolutely fantastic. Both the UV button and the Stan Onnex are what I would consider a very high-end thumb button style release. The Stan Onnex you can pick up in an aluminum version for $279. Their brass body or their heavy metal option actually goes for $299. Whereas the UV button, the stainless steel, is going for $349, making it the most expensive handheld release that is available on the market. But you can get into one of their aluminum body releases for $299. Again, still on the expensive side when you start looking at some of the other aluminum body releases that are available on the market. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have any other questions, you can always leave me a comment below. I am happy to help. You can always reach out to me directly on Instagram. I'm happy to answer any of your questions there. But if you guys have any other type of releases that you guys want to know more about, send me a message. I'm happy to do videos on those. I'm always looking for recommendations from the subscribers and from the viewers on what you guys want to see more of. You guys seem to really like the release review videos, so we are going to start to do more of those on the channel. And I do have another set of videos coming up that basically compare these releases, but more in like realistic shooting situations. So if you guys are interested in seeing that type of content, make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Before you go here, if you guys want to further support Michigan Ambush Outdoors, go visit our webpage. We do have some merch available, and your guys' purchases of that merch greatly supports this channel, keeps us doing what we're doing. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you on the next one.